What if the next person that rejects you is actually doing you a favor? What if the next no you get is actually not a stop sign? Okay, it might be a detour. And in this video, we're going to just be talking about why no does not always mean the end. It doesn't always mean full stop. It's always a stop sign. Sometimes it might be a way to redirect you. It might be a way to help you, you know, add something to that idea or remove something from that idea. And if you adopt this mindset shift that I'm about to talk about in this video, you realize that sometimes no might be the biggest blessing you would ever receive. Let's get into the video. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. So let's turn our nose, all the no's we've been hearing, all the no's we are likely to still hear in the future, let's turn them into fuel and let it stop breaking our hearts. So the first thing I'm going to talk about in this video is I should look at no as a temporary detour rather than a permanent stop sign that, oh, there's an embargo on this thing, you can never do it forever, or you can never achieve it forever. The fact that a door was closed in your face, the fact that someone said no, someone rejected your offer, someone rejected your product or rejected your idea, it doesn't mean the idea is rubbish. It doesn't mean you should go and trash the idea in the bin. It doesn't mean it's a stop sign. Okay, it's just a temporary detour. It might be for you to actually stop in your tracks and think about, okay, should I expand this idea? Should I refine it or reform it? Should I do something? Should I add something? Should I remove something from this idea? And then you go and pitch the idea to someone else, to other people, to other, organizations, to other individuals, and just, be persistent, be consistently persistent about that thing you are trying to push. It might be to achieve a certain goal, a certain desire, a certain dream. But when doors are closed in your face, when people say no to you, when people reject your idea or your offer, or even you, it doesn't mean you are not good enough. It doesn't mean you should be trashed in the bin. It just, sometimes, if you can adopt this mindset that it is not always a permanent stop sign, sometimes it is a temporary detour. It might be a, okay, calm down. It might be a, okay, wait. It might be an, it might be anything. So don't always treat a no as the end of the world. Don't let it discourage or destabilize you. I wish I heard this in my 20s. I wish I heard it in my teenage years. And I wish I knew this in my teenage years. Some of the mindset shifts or some of the things that I've learned, so far, they've really helped me. And I wish, sometimes I just feel like, oh my goodness, I wish I knew this when I was a teenager, when I was in my early 20s, my late 20s, even my early 30s. So no is not the end of the world. A no sometimes might be the best thing that would ever happen to you. I remember watching a documentary on Netflix. It was about America's Next Top Model, and I remember what's her name again? The hostess. I don't know why I've lost her name right now. She was talking about. She said she pitched her idea, what's it called? America's Next Top Model. She pitched it to several TV stations. It was the last possible one that picked up the idea, and I'm sure you will. I mean, I watched the show, when I was a teenager then, I guess, or in my late teens / early 20s. I used to watch America's Next Top Model because I was really into fashion then, so I was interested in anything fashion, right? So, I mean, she said it was the last TV station, the last possible. She said she didn't know what she was gonna do if those people didn't pick her up for the idea. And then the show went on to be one of the biggest shows in the world when it comes to fashion and the runway modeling and all of that. And so, wait, I'm still trying to remember her name. What's happening? For some reason I can't remember her name. And so, so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when doors are shut in your face, it doesn't mean your idea is bad. It's just a new thing you're doing. It's just a new idea or a new thing you're trying to pitch. And it doesn't mean, you should give up on yourself. If you have this mindset shift, you would achieve a lot of things because it will just help you keep, persisting. You'll be persistent. You keep trying that thing and trying other ways to do it. You remove some ideas, you add some. You just keep trying until you achieve your goals, until you do that thing you want to do and achieve that thing you want to achieve. And with the help of God, with the help of the Holy Spirit, the sky is your starting point. If you just know that every no does not mean full stop, it doesn't mean the end. So another thing I'm going to talk about in this video is the illusion of the safe zone, where you feel like, okay, if you're playing it safe, nobody's going to reject you, nobody's going to break your heart, as in maybe by rejecting your idea or your product or your services. That let me just stay in the safe zone. While the safe zone is, I mean, it feels comfortable, it might be the riskiest thing you would ever do, because if you feel like you want to play safe, you don't want to lose, you don't want to take any risks, you don't want to lose money on any business, so you're not doing any business, you don't want to fail, so you're not going to school, you don't want to be broken-hearted, so you're not going into any relationship, and then you're just playing it safe. You want to just be on your own little world, your own little shell. It might be the riskiest thing to do ever, because I mean, you won't grow in that space, you won't grow, you won't thrive, you won't move, you won't achieve great things. And then before you know it, 10 years have passed, and people that took those risks, they are way ahead of you. They are living a life you wish you could live just because they took that risk. So I'm not saying you should compete with people, I'm not saying you should compare your growth or your life or your journey with another person. I'm just trying to put in perspective that if you stay in your comfort zone, you might never grow, you might never live there. And if you're comfortable with that, I mean, do you, but a it's not a safe way to live life, because you might end up at the end of your life regretting not making moves. Not you might regret a lot of decisions if you don't take risks, if you don't leave that your safe zone. If you're afraid of no, you might not grow. Okay, no can also mean failure, no can also mean rejection. And so if you start a business and it doesn't work out well, you can try again, you can keep trying and keep trying. Just change the method, or change the way you approach it, or change, go back to your drawing board, go back to your boardroom. Just try to see what you can do. But being in a safe place, safe where you feel is safe, might be the most dangerous place to be, might be the riskiest place to be, because years will pass and you realize that you lost your most crucial years because you just felt safe in your safe space. Another thing I'm going to touch in this video is that you should audit your inner dialogue. Okay, instead of saying, I'm a failure, I'm not good at this, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, you can try something like, oh, that strategy did not work, or that idea, it didn't work, I need to do something, I need to do better, or I need to, work on it more, or I need to change my strategy. Rather than just beating yourself up, rather than just pulling yourself down with your own thoughts, with your own negative opinions about yourself and your abilities, you can actually talk up to yourself. You can actually encourage yourself from within you and just say, okay, this does not make me a bad person. Okay, I lost out on that relationship, it doesn't mean I'm not a good woman, or it doesn't mean I'm not a good man. Maybe that she's not for me, or maybe he's not for me. And then you keep praying to meet another spouse, or you keep praying to meet another partner, or you keep praying to get, other ideas that will help you move your portfolio forward, to help you build your portfolio. Whatever it is, rather than just breaking yourself down from within you, you cast down every imagination, cast down every negative thought, and just speak positivity. Just think positive about that situation. You are not a failure. You didn't feel, you are not, it's not that you're not good enough. That strategy it didn't just work, or that person is probably just not for you. Just try to put a positive spin on every single experience you have that is supposed to be negative, as in there is a no, there is a discouragement in disguise or whatever. Just try to put a positive spin on it, and you see how much more you learn from that experience, how much more you grow. And when you adopt this mindset, you become a happier person, you become a more positive person, and you see that you achieve more things just because you are pushing forward with positivity, rather than just tearing yourself down and making yourself feel like you're not good enough. Another way to look at no as a positive thing or as a good thing is that it helps you build a tough skin. Now at my age, I'm almost 40, right? I can handle some things better now, just because of the experiences of life, just because of my, all of the things I've been through, the ups and the downs, the good days, the bad days. I can experience, I can, I can stomach a lot of things now than I could 20 years ago when I was 20. Okay, so just look at it that, okay, this no is going to help me build a thick skin, and you actually realize that a rejection is not the end of the world, to be quite honest. I mean, you will move on, and it will be amazing, and you will live an amazing life, and everything will be fine. Okay, and so the more you get the experience, and that's why even with child education, or what is it, I remember reading all these things when my babies were still toddlers. The power of no. When you tell a child no, it builds that child to know, okay, this is right, this is wrong. But when you've never told your child no ever, and then you suddenly say no when child is 13, you are looking for a problem. You are looking for problems, because the child would flip out on you. The child will be like, because the child has never been disappointed. When the child was 2, he went to the store, you bought him a toy car, and then he was 4, you took him to Disneyland, and then he was 6, everything he asked for, you told him. And then all of a sudden he's 13 and he wants a Ferrari, and then you're saying no. You are looking for trouble, because you've not built that child up with disappointments. We know that the child does not know that there's even anything called no. So what are you saying no for? As I don't understand. So that's how it is as with us. When we our first experiences with disappointment, you to be like, let this guy just follow your head, that this is the end of the world. No. But when you get that no, when people reject your product, I don't want to. If you go and tell someone that, okay, come and buy this dress, person says no, the first time might hurt you. By the 100th time, when you go and meet some other group of, when you say no, you just, in fact, the way you even stroll out majestically, because I mean, we move on, and you know that you still meet your own customers in front, and you make sales, and it will be fine. Okay, so you grow a thick skin. So the more redirections you get, or the more rejections, or the more no's you get, they really help you grow, and they just help you develop a thick skin, and then you just become a pro at whatever it is you're doing. So now you have confidence in yourself that, okay, it's not because my product is bad, it's not because of this thing, it's just because this is not right at this moment. This company doesn't want to pick up my products because it's just not right for them. I'll try the other company. When I was trying to pitch when I was selling clothes to different departmental stores all over, there are some stores you get to, they'll say, I don't need clothes. I sell maxi dresses, right? And you go to a store, you want to supply them wholesale, and they're like, I don't need. Then you go to another store, and the store is paying you upfront for like 100 pieces, and then you go to another store, they're saying, okay, drop your 50 pieces, but you get your money maybe in 3 months or 3 weeks. So you have different experiences, and if I hadn't picked up a thick skin over the last couple of years, my whole life, hearing no constantly for certain things, I would have been heartbroken when I went to the first when I went to the first store, and they said they didn't want my clothes. I would have been like, I'm a failure, I didn't. But no, I was able to go, and with the help, it wasn't my doing anyway, it was God's grace and God's favor that helped me. And so that example is just to show that a no can help you develop a thick skin, and you'll be stronger and better than ever before. So the last thing I'm going to say in this video is I should just look at no as a motivation for the ultimate revenge. And the ultimate revenge is excellence. Okay, it's massive success. And when I say revenge, I don't mean you're trying to show anybody pepe. Not a person in particular, not a group of people in particular. But it's like when someone tells you no, it should fuel your ginger. If you understand what I mean, it should make you want to even go forward to achieve that success, to achieve that excellence, to do that thing. And you can't do it without God's help. Okay, you can't do it on your own. You can't do it by yourself. And so when you get rejected for this idea, this person says no, this person says no, go and kneel down, lock your door, kneel down, and tell God to help you, to give you an amazing strategy how to get out of this, and to help you go towards success in that thing you're doing, that project, in that business, in that academic pursuit, in that relationship. Ask God to help you, and so that you can come out victorious at the end of all of the no's you've gotten for that thing. You can come out successful and excellent and brilliant. And because of that, people will come to give God glory on your behalf, just because they watched you fall in that situation, and they watched you rise, and it couldn't have been your power. It was just God that helped you. And so, I mean, I hope this video has helped you. I hope it has encouraged you. I hope you've learned something from this video. I'll see you in my next video, and have a good day. Bye.